compartments are all hand-carried items. Other choice.
High-heeled shoes and leave all personal belongings.
Can the crew please be seated for the takeoff?